now, guys, we're on the second channel with it. But wait, if you fuck with the content, all you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe. Remember, it's free. But right now, we're joined with a very special guest today.
What's up? It's Zach. It's the same day as the last video. So.
Guys, we're about to get right into it. But wait, remember, subscribe to my main channel, my third channel. Remember, we're going up by 2022. You know what to do. So the video we have today here is a video by Jubilee, and it's liberal teens versus conservative parents. Now, this is gonna be very interesting because it's just good to see a nice teen versus like adult perspective, because I'm pretty sure we've all had arguments with our parents or just disagreements with our parents. So what do you think?
I just want to see what they're talking about, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's get into it.
Everybody has made a bad choice. And because you're stressed out, you go change your gender. Because you want to try something new, once you do it, you can't go back. The more you throw stuff at kids before they develop, that's indoctrination.
When Jubilee created Middle Ground, the intention was to uncover or see
What are they talking about?
homophobic trend.
Cancel culture is a good thing.
We have the freedom to say what you want, but everyone else has the freedom to respond and cancel you if you say something that is racist, homophobic, transphobic, etc. Cancel culture is definitely good in the means of deplatforming people who are spreading very hateful messages.
What is your opinion on Trump being cancelled on Twitter?
When you go onto Twitter, whenever you check I accept the, guidelines, the community guidelines, I agree to follow them, and he didn't follow them, so Twitter has the right to take him off the app.
And people that might make the counter-argument that Twitter is biased and will only cancel right-wing politicians, that's not true at all. Twitter and other forms of social media have canceled left-wing activists. There is an equal balance on both sides.
You brought up canceling him off Twitter. I'm sorry, I disagree. When the Taliban can use our social media, but an ex-president can't, there is something wrong with that.
Did the Taliban
Why?
violate guidelines?
It doesn't matter.
I think it
How do you
matters.
feel like that?
It literally, like they didn't violate community guidelines. Like you don't understand, like the Taliban in their country, like the United States has like a really bad problem with doing this. Like we're not the main characters. Like other countries have their own perspective, and to the Taliban, they're obviously doing something right. So unless they do anything specifically against the Twitter guidelines, why would they get canceled?
Yeah.
Twitter, what their community guidelines are, that's why they banned Trump, because Trump violated community guidelines. That's what every platform has, whether it be TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
The Taliban stones people because they're gay.
If they've done that and they've posted videos of stoning gay people, I agree, they should be removed, and that is fundamentally wrong. No,
Except
it's not.
the problem is they're smart enough to not do that.
Yeah.
Well, then why wasn't Trump
Exactly.
smart enough to not do that, I guess.
If I'm an American and I have to vote between this person and this person, I need equal access to both of them to decide what's right. Bro, you could be a Klansman, you could say you hate black people. That's not my job to police your language. I can't expect everybody to love me and think the way I think. All y'all think different of me, that's totally dope. But the fact that you want somebody removed because they think differently, that could be you one day.
Do you think freedom of speech is something that still exists in America?
We do have aspects of freedom of speech. Like you can't go into a movie theater and yell fire. So obviously there are limits of freedom of speech.
But they're picking and choosing and who they're silencing and who they're letting talk.
If people react negatively to what you say, it goes both ways. You can't just say
Sure.
that, oh, they
100%.
can't. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
America is becoming less and less safe.
What do you think before they go?
America? Yeah, maybe. What do you think?
Probably now. Well,
I just thought
maybe it's just more broadcast though. Because is it really what if it's already like that, but just more broadcast?
apparently the rates are going up. But I don't know how real those are. But I'm saying compared to other places, probably not coming crazy. It's
No,
Africa
definitely.
per se. It's not like the jungle.
It's not like SARS. It's not.
Oh God.
I mean, it's 2 guys.
So I have a lot of friends that have been in the military for the last 20 years because they refused to get vaccinated. They told me that they would be dishonorably discharged or kicked out of the military. I just believe we're losing a lot of good servicemen with the current situation that we're in right now.
A lot of police officers are down. Crime is up all over. When police aren't there, we're murdering each other at a really high rate. police are in those neighborhoods because the homicide rate is high. Y'all can run around talking about police all you want, but I challenge any of these liberal kids to spend 2 weeks in the environment I grew up in, and I promise your perspective will change.
One advantage we have about being older, we've been through a threat or two, and our enemies, like China and the Communist Party in China, they're laughing at us. Russia's like, we don't need to do much. They're gonna screw it up on their own. We need to get the help of our younger people that haven't been through a threat before to realize a lot of what's going on is not good. My name is Mike. I'm 59 years old, and I'm a conservative parent. Growing up during the 1980s, that was a huge influence on me, and it formed my views and the people that I was around. That's the reason why I'm a conservative parent. I think America should be more middle of the road and not be necessarily more liberal, and if anything, it should be a hint more on the conservative side, because we're going to watch our freedoms get extinguished or encroached if we don't guard those freedoms and make sure that all of our children have a chance to succeed.
Can the disagree step forward?
I actually wished I came up here for the agreeing section because I think I interpreted the definition of safety the same way that you guys did, but after hearing your guys' conversation, I started thinking about how our American people aren't safe in the face of imminent climate disasters that are coming our way, and how we don't have the infrastructure to deal with that.
I actually very much agree with that, because I think we need to define what we mean by we're less safe now. Do we mean there was more homicides after COVID, or what do we mean?
I would say before we got rid of half our military, half our police force, slavery was legal, the Holocaust was legal, so we can look at all these mass atrocities and say we're doing what's right. Everybody who was a part of the Holocaust government, they were doing what Hitler said. They were doing what was right.
Yeah, it's
everybody losing their job for not getting vaxxed and all the vaccines.
I'm just trying to hear his point. I'm trying to see, okay, maybe we're about to get somewhere.
I was trying to hear him out, but he's looking more and more like a coon every second.
I'm gonna hear him out real quick.
People, you got who can we control? Everybody who get the shot, that's who's gonna do what we say. The enemies are coming, and we don't care about that because we want to care about what color we should wear, and pride, and critical race theories. No one else cares about that but us in America. That's our problem.
So you think that talking about sexual orientation and all that kind of stuff takes away from the safety of our country?
Who you sleep with has no merit in the real world. What does it matter?
Okay, let's just broaden the scope. With the coronavirus pandemic, why did it take weeks for us as a country to mobilize together to fight the public health crisis that was already affecting the nation?
It was a scam to get Donald Trump out of office. It's all fake.
He knows something we don't know.
Nah, this guy's an idiot. No, he's actually stupid.
Getting all of these
something we don't know.
Outside of just the U.S. and even international governments on their side for something that they're just trying to get Trump out of office, I feel like that's heavily ridiculous.
Trump was the thorn that nobody saw coming, and they had to find a way to get him out of there. If there's no mail-in voting,
I told you he was the
president right now, 100%.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
It's crazy. This is who they have working for the black person.
I told you he was a coon. That's crazy. The fact you even sit there and say that coronavirus is fake now is kind of crazy. Nigga, people are literally dying. There's probably someone in this nigga's family who has died from it, and he wants to say it's not real. What?
COVID is real. Yeah, it's real.
And he's making excuses for Trump. He handled it poorly. At the start, I feel like he handled it poorly even now. People are gonna start dying. What? That's crazy.
Ballots were to Biden. That's obvious. Exactly. That's not because mail-in ballots are fraudulent. Because mail-in ballots are actually not fraudulent at all. This election was the safest election in recorded history.
There's a lot of videos. You see people with fake ballots. So that's here and there. I'm not.
That's just hearsay from random people on TikTok. Are we really gonna take that as empirical evidence?
It's a personal opinion.
No, it's not.
My name is Parker. I'm 19 and I'm a liberal. My sisters and I have become a lot more liberal, a lot more left-leaning over time, while my parents have stayed a bit conservative. Before, when I was a conservative, I kind of just went off a lot of the indoctrination and propaganda that was spread to me when I was a kid. I grew up on the fact that, we shouldn't have increased taxes because taxes are just negatively affecting us. Personal responsibility isn't what a lot of the decisions people make in society is based on. It's mainly based upon their environments, how they're socialized by their parents, people around them, things like that.
My news source is more reliable than the other side's.
News source.
I ain't tell anything about that.
When I look at
Like the
conservative news, I see a lot of conspiracies that I don't necessarily agree with. And so if everything comes from opinion and just people developing their own ideas, it just doesn't seem reliable to me.
I feel like the only way we can get unbiased news is in order for news media organizations to stop prioritizing having really vivid headlines that might not necessarily be 100% accurate.
I think that starts with putting people over profit. They want the biggest story or whatever, and they don't want to actually give the news that would be beneficial to our everyday average Americans. And I think that if we put a lot more focus on putting people first instead of the big news or the big story, we can change that aspect of society.
I agree with what he said, but I personally feel like that's not gonna happen though, because like how it is in America, it's just we're systematically like we're all about like money, and we're just all about that. So I feel like it's not gonna happen because yes, what he's saying is true. Like in the media, how they do portray it is just like vivid images, just one-sided story. But like the one-sided story always gets more attention because you're gonna have people want to counteract that, and that brings more attention, which brings more money, more views. So I feel like it's not gonna happen though. Like I agree with what he's saying, but like,
Yeah, it's not. That's true.
I agree with you 100%. Like I say the civil rights movement is the civil rights entertainment industry because it's so profitable. Put a police shooting on TV, it's breaking news, every headline is on every social media, you're selling shirts, you're selling signs. That's so much more profitable than showing me you shaking hands. The news media is literally...
Is he trying to like diss Black Lives Matter? Like that's not what he was talking about. Like,
notice how he always like brings it into that. Like,
yeah, why is he so hateful towards himself?
capitalizing off the emotions of society. No matter how you feel about it, handle it in your privacy of your house. Why? Because if you can do it on camera, somebody's gonna make $1 off of it. And that's not fair to you.
Young people today are too sensitive.
what do you think? Because we're young. What you think?
I think they're more emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent?
Yeah, I feel like realizing that you have to think about people other than yourselves' feelings and things does not make you sensitive. It makes you like a good person. Like, I feel like old people just be like not understanding how other people feel in situations. Like, that's very important because, like, yeah, I don't think I need to explain that.
I think it's a good thing that young people are sensitive. I think today they can be more sensitive than what they probably could have been 30 or 40 years ago. You know, the growing up was the Berlin crisis, the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, we had the threat of annihilation, staring at us several times. And a lot of times I go, thank God John Kennedy handled it.
The country has been spoiled for so long. They're trying to make it so a man can't be a man. And if you don't let men be men, then things start crumbling. Society crumbles, families crumble, and broken homes start happening.
Kids need their fathers. So 36% of kids don't have a father. So every boy is, well, my mom is mad at me, my dad don't love me, my dad don't care about me. Maybe I should be gay, maybe I should be trans, I don't know who I am. And your father puts confidence in you. No disrespect to anybody, but the younger generation of men are soft. And if we had to go to war, they're not protecting America. There's no better place to be as a black individual or whatever you are in America. Go to the Middle East right now and say you gay or you trans and see how they treat you.
Yeah, this guy sucks, man.
32
Notice how he keeps bringing back to like the LGBTQ, like.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. I want to say respectfully,
And,
but
like-
why are you talking about this?
I was about to say, because like he brought up how he was like self-hating. I was like, maybe he didn't have like maybe he has to have hated somebody in order to hate himself. But like he brought up the whole like he equivalent to like having absent parents like being gay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should say something. I don't know. Maybe he's projecting.
Conservative parent. My grandfather was a no excuse individual. He grew up in the Jim Crow South, but he worked hard. Like the house that he bought is still in our family today. He had a garden in his backyard. If you step past a certain wire, he got on you. So to watch the men before me who really could have been lynched for stepping out of line, who really could have went through a hardship for not doing what society said, the worst thing that could happen to me is because I get a mean tweet or a dislike. So I gotta fully embrace who I am, and I know I can create anything with my 2 hands and feet.
I'm Hannah, I'm 17, and I'm a liberal. I really want equality for all, and the liberal policies that have been passed side more with my values of equality for those who are on the LGBTQ, those who are on the gender spectrum. Something about conservative parents that I don't like is whenever I come across them, they seem to be very rooted in their ways and not willing to listen to someone who's a teenager like me. They think more like, oh, because I'm older, I have more knowledge, which is not necessarily always the case.
Can we have the disagree a step forward?
This idea that because men are being raised by women that they're weaker is, in my opinion, completely false.
I've actually been hearing topics about that though. Like, what do you think? Like, dudes raised by single mothers? Because the narrative is that they are weaker. That's why you have like beta men.
Not always. I don't, because I know a lot of people who don't have a dad who aren't like, I don't know, like they're soft or nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it depends on you as well. Because I feel like having a father figure is good, of course. I feel like you don't have to find somebody to look for that in. I feel like when you have only your mom, you have to find a father figure, or else you let your mom become your father figure. Either you find one or your mom becomes your father figure. And while I think the point of people who talk like that is like, your mom can't be a father figure. Like, she can try her hardest. Like, she can raise you very well. Like, I'm not disputing that. But she can't, like, physically, she can't really show you from a man's perspective because she's not a grown man. She's a grown woman. Like, she's not going to, so that's why a lot of people, like, find somebody else. Like, some niggas get into sports, like, their coach, and look into NFL players. Niggas join gangs. Like, niggas do, I don't know. It just depends on person by person basis.
Generation, it's not more sensitive. We're more aware of all these things. Being transgender and gay is not something that should be ashamed of or make you feel less in today's society. That is why women are fighting for equality, because this idea that because they only have a mom, they're weaker, or because, they're more sensitive, that's, in my opinion, completely false.
And I would say in the environment that I grew up in, the teen pregnancies come from girls without fathers. The homicides come from people without fathers. Every girl that I know, if they grow up with a daddy, they get married before they have a kid.
Why do they not have fathers?
If you want me to be real, because a lot of women make bad choices on the men they procreate with. If you make a bad choice, that's your responsibility. Every bad thing that I did in my life, it was when my daddy was in jail. When my dad was out and I had my dad's reassurance, I was a better person.
I agree, but I feel like it could be worded in both ways though.
How so?
Like, yes, he said, like, women make the bad choices in procreating with men, but there are also a lot of men going out procreating with numerous women, having multiple baby mothers, and that still installs, like, you can't beat every different kid's, like, lives if you have, like, 13 kids, because you have 13 baby mothers. That's also the man's fault, because that's your choice on your seed, you know what I mean? So it's like, that could be said both ways.
That's not what they're saying. The point, and when people say that is, as the woman, you know who you're having sex with, though.
I know. I agree with both. I'm saying it should be a both thing, both responsibility, though, because still there are.
I don't know. You can blame the bad man, but that's also the woman's fault still, because you're picking that nigga. Like, the bad men, like, should, like, theoretically, like, if people are thinking right, like, you just shouldn't have sex with people who you know are not gonna be good fathers. Like, it's dumb. Like, you can't then blame the majority of guys for that.
But I'm not trying to say no one's trying to blame guys, but naturally, we're humans, naturally we're gonna have, like, people are just not gonna have sex. That's point blank and period. That's why I'm saying it's a both responsibility things, because both people are getting involved, though. That
takes it back to the other video, though. Like, yeah, just because someone's attractive doesn't, like...
I'm not basically attractive. Naturally, you're gonna wanna...
But that's what it is, like, if you pick somebody who's a bad dad, it's probably because you're not thinking about that. I just wanted to fuck that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to fuck her.
But that also goes into what dudes when they see a nice, like, attractive girl, and they keep not watching your seed, or not, like, caring for your seed, and you're nutting at multiple different women, and different women. That's both fault. That's both responsibility. I don't care. That's still a man and a woman's, like, job. You're both getting involved in that. You're putting your nut in her.
The girls are the ones, women control sex. Like, no one is having sex unless the girl says yes, is what I'm saying. So if you don't pick somebody, so if you choose to have some sex with somebody who you know is not like that, like that's you as the person. I'm still not like excusing bad men. Like that's why I'm calling them like bad men. Like why? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's both have fault, but ultimately it's the girls because you
I don't
are
agree. We can just agree to disagree on that one.
You're letting that nigga have sex.
We're agreeing to disagree. Guys. Comment down below what y'all think, please.
There's no discussion. Like what? You
guys,
can just comment.
Please. I'm dead. But that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below, like, if you have any, like, how did y'all feel? Did y'all agree? Did y'all disagree? If you have any certain issues with it, comment down below. Thank you again for Zach for joining us in this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Link will be in the description. Y'all know what to do. But remember, if you fuck with the content, all you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe. It's free. Remember, subscribe to my main channel and my third channel. Remember, we're going on all 2022. Y'all know what to do.
That's on that topic.
Do you think it would be more beneficial to show police also interacting with white guys? Because more white guys get killed than black guys by cops.
If you look at the amount of white people and the amount of black people, there are going to be more white people killed because there are more white people in America. The